Next, I'm going to introduce a new thing we do in some of our shouts together, a new little segment. I'm going to call it Practical Magic for the Modern Merlin. Yeah. We talk a lot. I talk a lot. We're going to start getting into it, actually doing it. So, we don't have any drum roll music. Let's just oh, there we go. Now, and maybe you could do a little video thing for before our next session. But you got 2 months. Calder's telling me, practical magic for the modern Merlin. Yes. So, this is, by the way, this is a wand, a magic wand. And you can buy one now before midnight for just $595 and free shipping. And it's magical. And it's total distraction. It's a nice stage prop for me. And it looks so good. That's time for your shot crash.
Close your mouth.
Yeah, like that. Total distraction. It's just a piece of wood. It's pretty. It's nice. But this little piece of wood is a distraction so that you're looking over here and you're not really, you're letting things come in. You're looking over here. Every one of you should probably have one. But recognize total distraction. It's time to really allow energy to work for you. And in order to do so, I feel it's important for you, the human, to have a trigger. You think about it sometimes. You've heard me say the words, energy serving you. You think about it, but now I want you to start doing it. Coming up with, first, a trigger. A trigger is either like a body gesture like that, something unique though, not something just everybody does, something that you can really, people think you're weird if you go around doing that, but something that is unique to you, meaningful to you, you have to do consciously. You have to really stop for a moment and do the thing. And again, all the time you can have your magic wand over here, but it's just a piece of beautiful wood. An energy trigger is when you say, energy, I command you to serve me. I command you to serve me. That's it. Or energy, serve me, if you don't like the word command. That's what it's all about. Energy is always here, and it's always serving you. That is true. It's not like it hasn't been here, but what happens is typically in a tight situation, the human's energy center, their energy sphincter, tightens up. You're in a tough situation, and what happens? You squeeze in. You restrict the flow of energy at a time when you should be open to energy. Suddenly, what's a good example? You're walking along the floor, you're out of your body as you are most of the time, you slip and fall, and as you're taking that tumble, it's like slow motion, some of you have been there, like slow motion, and you're like, oh, shit. and what happens is your energy sphincter tightens up, and I'm getting all this from you today, sorry. You bring in that toilet headband. It's like a faucet. Suddenly you turn the faucet nearly off. You restrict the flow of energy at the very time you should be opening it up. That's the way of the Merlin. And the Merlin, no matter what situation Merlin is confronted with, Merlin stops for a moment, does their trigger, whatever that happens to be. It could be a word, it could be a body gesture. Even if it's right in the moment of imminent danger, or high stress, or a situation where you feel might be insurmountable, that's when you stop and you do the trigger and you open to the energy rather than close to the energy. This is very, very important also to understand there is no agenda in it. When you do the trigger, it's not about saying, here's what I want for the outcome. The outcome of whatever happens is going to be perfect, and it always is. Maybe not in what the old human thought it should be, but it is going to be perfect. But when you're restricting the flow almost down to just a drip, drip, drip of energy, you're not going to get the full benefit of the magic, of the experience, and of the unfolding that comes with it. Think back into your life, situations that have come along. And it might have been physical, might have been financial, or emotional. In those situations, you generally bring in your energy, close it down, or you close yourself to that energy. You turn down the faucet. You restrict the natural flow of energy. And that's what's really the problem. It's not the situation that you're in. Magical things happen. You could be right within a second of a car accident, hitting somebody. And what you've been doing is closing down. It's like, oh crap. That's the time to open up. And that's when the magic happens, because then it can serve you. Basically, what you've been doing is saying to the energy, well, I don't want any more, no energy, or your mind has been saying, here's the outcome I want, and the energy ain't going that way. And in this case, it's like, open up and allow the energy to serve you in that moment. It doesn't have to be only at times of impending disaster or conflict or anything else. As a matter of fact, this is something you should consciously do 10, 20 times a day until you get so familiar with it. It's like allowing, you're opening up. The only thing that's been between you and the real magic has been the limitation or the restriction of energy. That's it. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or that you're not worthy or you're not magical. This is just a stick, but it's a great distraction. It's not because of that. It's because in difficult cases, you restrict the energy and you bring it right to there rather than being in your energy. You stop yourself. Triggers.
Right to there is where?
Right to there is I am. That's it. It's just, you don't even have to think about it. It's just me. I am. Instead of just thinking about it, instead of closing down. So a trigger could be a physical gesture that you make, but something unique. Like it could be clicking of the fingers. It could be creative. Come up with something that's not just common with everybody. Or a word. Not a word that's currently in use. Make up a word. I do it all the time. I love it. I'll make up all sorts of words. Why not? Because if the word is currently in usage, there's an energy associated with it, and it takes away the full expression. Come up with a word. And Shazam ain't the word, because everybody uses Shazam. Come up with a word that, and you don't have to just, again, feel into it. It'll come to you, whether it's a word or like a trigger mechanism with, hitting your knee or something like that. Something that reminds you it's time to open, not to close. That is Magic 101. Never, ever, 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 ever use it on another person. It's you and your energy. Never have an agenda or what you think should be the outcome. We'll only do that at graduate level. Right now, it's this simple. You open rather than close. You allow rather than restrict. At all times, remember, energy is your friend. It's there to serve you, and it's your energy. You spend eons of time playing the opposite game, but the natural fact is energy is yours, and it is your friend. It's never wanted to harm you or never wanted to hurt you. Never wanted to appear to be separate. But that's a game you played and it went along. Now open up to energy. Come up with a word, come up with a body motion, a trigger that is yours, but never ever use it on another person. It's not that I'm going to come after you, but that same energy will, whether you use it in love and compassion or whether you use it in hatred and anger against somebody, that's where you start getting into trouble. That's where you've gotten in trouble in the past. That's why you've closed down and held back. That's why I say stop trying to save the planet, because that's out of compassion and the planet is going to mess with you. Use it as your energy without even trying to have a desired outcome, and then watch the magic happen. The moment you desire an outcome, the moment that you're setting an agenda, you are limiting energy by its very nature. And then you're going to go mental. When you simply allow it to be and allow whatever comes with your energy, it's not God's energy, it's not the planet's energy, it's not anybody's energy. The moment you allow your energy to be, you're going to discover what true magic really is. You're going to discover then how you can be in the midst of the chaos of the world, and it simply doesn't affect you. I'm being asked by several here watching online, should we share it with others? I wouldn't. Why? What are you trying to trigger each other? My word, my body action is better than yours. Not that it's a big secret, but it's yours. Stop playing the game. Stop having to go out on social media, and some of you are already doing it, and say, oh, here's what I just came up with, or I knew this 5 years ago. And it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Jeez. So, your own trigger. It's yours. It's personal. Body motion, a word, something, and start getting used to it. Whether you're in the middle of a tough situation, whether you're just driving down the street, that word, that action, that trigger will have a conscious effect. You'll start remembering, that's right, I open to energy, I don't close to it. You're in a bad situation, you went to the grocery store and suddenly you're at the checkout line, you realize, oh, stupid me, I forgot my wallet today. That's the time, trigger. Now, if you expect your wallet to appear, you're doing it wrong. But follow the magic that happens from that moment. If you are expecting, oh, I have to do my Shazam thing because I forgot my wallet and then it's suddenly going to be there, you've just failed because you're not allowing the energy to serve you. You have a desired outcome that's often limited by the human agenda, and that blocks out the magic. Watch what happens if you just do your trigger, and knowing that you're in an embarrassing situation, there's 20 people in line looking at you with great disgust, and you're fumbling around trying to find your wallet. Let that be the entry point for real magic to happen. It is amazing. Suddenly you get sick. Suddenly you come down with a bad flu. Come back to your trigger, and not to try to make yourself healthy. Not to try to say, I need to get over this flu because I have an important meeting in tomorrow. Not at all. Open to the energies rather than restrict the energies, and watch the magic that happens. And it's so simple, it's so beautiful. It's so magic 101. It's amazing. And this is just a prop. This is just a distraction. So if a bunch of you go out and get this, I'm going to even ask Caldera to post online where he got this. It's just a distraction. Humans need to see that sometimes. They can't possibly imagine that you by yourself can really be the magician, but you give you a little piece of wood to hold in your hand and suddenly you're God. So whether you do it now, whether you do it later, your trigger. And you're gonna start to realize too, how much you've been closing down, you've been restricting at times when you should have been opening up. You just get a notice from the government, they're going to audit your taxes. You close down. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to deal with it. Last thing in the world, is that you want more energy, even though you're saying, God, I need money, I need something, help me. No, you close down. Watch what happens now Use your trigger, the trigger that says, I open to my energy. Not the government's energy, not to the authorities are going to come and haul you off or anything like that, but to your own. This is where the real magic begins. And again, never, ever use it on another person, ever. You've gotten too much trouble for that in the past, caused too many heartaches along the way. It is for you only, without agenda. Does that make sense? You're not using it to save the world, because what's going to happen, here you are opening to more energy, and suddenly you're out of compassion for the rest of the world. Oh boy, you're going to feel the effects of it. It is for you only. Okay, I think we're pretty clear on that. Let's take a good deep breath. Good deep breath with that. Come up with a trigger, a word, a unique word, a word that's unique to you. A unique word, body movement, whatever it is that reminds you, I open to my energy. And then let the magic begin. No agenda. No figuring it out. Just open up. That's it. Open the valve rather than close it. Okay. I know there'll be questions on this, but for right now, just figure your own trigger and start using it. Start feeling into it 10, 20 times a day, just to get used to it, to realize, oh, this is my mechanism for opening the energies.